back to Video Champions on Daily News Network. I'm your host, Mike White. Join me every episode with Andrew Cardy talking about tips, tricks, and trends going on in the advertising industry. So, Andrew, what's the biggest change that you see going on in the industry right now when it comes to video?
Yeah, Mike, I think one of the biggest changes is that we're seeing is how AI tools and AI content is intersecting with traditional video projects and video storytelling. And it's a pretty interesting space because those tools are replacing some aspects and then really supporting or enhancing others. And some of it is just a gimmick as well. And you're like, we don't need that. It won't matter at all.
Well, as much as I respect your opinion as an expert, let's phone a friend.
Let's phone a friend.
So Joe, welcome program. Joe Monzo with Monzo Media Productions. Welcome in today.
How's it going? Thanks for having me.
So appreciate you being here. So talking about video and trends, what do you see as the biggest change to the way video production is being either offered or utilized when it comes to an advertising campaign?
Yeah, for sure. So I think the biggest thing, that I've seen, obviously there's always the technology changes and whatnot, but it's also kind of more or less about how is video being used as a strategy overall? I think back to when I first started and first launched, if a company or a brand had that one video on their website, they were generally doing pretty good because they were kind of ahead of the curve. Now we're kind of in an era where, having multiple video assets, it's just going to be so important in terms of your advertising funnel, your sales funnel, your marketing funnel, because you're starting to build that know, like, and trust factor more authentically. We're in a world where the buyer is more skeptical, and you have to continuously build that trust.
Tell me about Monzo Media Productions and how you got involved in the industry.
Yeah, for sure. So I first launched in 2016, but about a couple of years beforehand, I was doing a lot of kind of more webinar training video editing for software companies. And then right around 2016, when I officially launched the brand, I started focusing more on creative marketing assets for businesses. And then around 2017, 2018, I started shifting focus a little bit more towards the private school sector and the nonprofit realm, helping creating compelling videos and video strategies for schools and nonprofits to help achieve the goals that they're looking for.
That's fantastic. And Joe, I think one of the things that I really enjoy about some of the things I've seen on LinkedIn and your model is it's a lot about collaboration, it seems. Can you talk a little bit about how you use collaboration in your model?
Yeah, for sure. So every project, it requires collaboration from both the client and the production partner. The production partner is not just going to come in and be like, all right, this is the art piece that we're making. It's not about that. It's about achieving the results. And so that only happens from collaboration and communicating with the client in terms of what are your goals? What are you looking to achieve? What are some of your brand values? What are some of the customer stories? What's their experience like? And so having that collaboration and really speaking and being open about it is just super important.
Yeah, that's so true. And I think, of the many mediums that exist, I think film is one of the ones that still inherently is collaborative in its nature. The other question I want to ask you, Joe, is, I think you and I are similar. I started in video in 2014, but I've been in this industry for 20 years. And so I always love asking someone that's been in it for a while, what's one piece of advice that you would give to somebody who in 2025 says, I'm ready to take this step, I'm going to make this first move? What's one of the things you've learned in business or experience that you're like, don't forget about this?
Buy a camera.
Yeah, buy a camera. This is the record button.
Yes, that little red button is hit record. I think the biggest thing is, and I'm just kind of taking it with just my own experience, just be open to doing a lot of different things.
Yeah.
I've gotten some great advice. You don't find your passion finds you. Mm-hmm. And so you only find that, or it finds you by you taking action and just doing a whole slew of things, especially at first. And then once you start kind of getting that experience, you start finding out what you don't like. There were times when, I was considering going the wedding route. I did a couple weddings. I was like, It's fine, but it's not my thing. And then I started doing more with the schools and the nonprofits. Like, wow, this really kind of lit me up. So definitely when you're first getting started, just try out a lot of different things and just test things out. See what gets you up in the morning and what gets you excited.
Yeah.
Well, Joe, so last question. If you could finish this sentence, in 5 years, Monzo Media Productions will blank.
Monzo Media Productions will continue to create compelling assets for mission-based organizations throughout the country.
Incredible. Well, thank you very much for sharing your insight today. I appreciate you coming on the show.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
To find out more about Monzo Media Productions, visit us at dailynewsnetwork.com. We'll see you next time on Advertising Champions.